The meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give that gift away. Hi, Assalamualaikum, may peace be upon all of you. Today we're going to discuss on the 5 principles of truth for the true purpose of life. We have discussed previously on what are the 5 principles, but today we're going to discuss some of the popular views on purpose of life, and we're going to test them with the 5 principles of truth for the true purpose of life. So that's Pablo Picasso. The meaning of life is basically to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give that gift away. It's kind of irony in many sense. Yeah, I think that's pretty true in most cases in general sense. But I also bumped into one Italian guy. He said, "What's your purpose of life?" He said, "Ikigai." So when I Google Ikigai, is basically, you do what you love most, what you're good at. That's something that can give you money, and lastly, it also must benefit other people. So that's another ways of some probably popular view on purpose of life. So you got that Pablo Picasso, the Ikigai, and there is also one from British National Health Service, which have outlay five steps for mental well-being to get a meaningful life. One is basically you must connect with your family and community. That's important. That's the first one. Second, you must maintain some form of physical exercise. Third is basically you must lifelong learning, keep on learning probably until you die. Fourth is basically giving to others, and lastly, the fifth one, basically mindfulness of the people around you. You have some sense of what's happening around you. That's basically the British ways of how to be to have a happy life. So how's in general sense, basically purpose of life is basically something that's been discussed from the dawn of civilization until now. So it's either it can be derived from cultural perspective, from philosophical perspective, from theological perspective. Now we have from scientific perspective, and as well as some popular views like Pablo Picasso, Ikigai, and whatnot. So in general sense, to me, they are all true, but not so true, not so exact and correct. So I'll explain how I meant by that. So we go one by one. What are the 5 principles of truth? Basically, I said it must be universally accessible to everyone who wants it. Like there is some theological belief that their purpose, their end, their salvation is restricted to X number of people. Say 300,000. That's max. It's what happened to the rest of us, 7 billion of us, people around. So there is some belief also said the salvation is depending on the race. If you belong to a certain race, so you are born to be chosen as a chosen one and go to heaven and whatnot. So to me, that also cannot be true in that sense, and some also in terms of race, there's only the male race is preferred over the woman to have the highest heaven and whatnot. So to me, that also not universal in that sense. It must be So, and also the purpose also must apply to every human being, humankind on this earth wants to have that salvation, or to the purpose of life. The objective of life. It doesn't matter whether that one is rich, poor, unhealthy, sick people. So they must have that equal access, and they must have that. So anything that bars certain people from attaining that the purpose of life, or the objective or the purpose of life, to me is not true. So it must be universal and accessible to everyone who wants it. Second is it must provide some form of peace. So I believe all those ikigai and Pablo Picasso. I think it can give you some form of happiness by by giving to others, by mindful people around you and stuff like that. But more importantly, second is whether it can also, but by doing that, so to have your own peace, your inner peace, your individual peace is a bit easy in that sense. But how that your peace relate to other people, whether you can peace can bring also happiness and peace to others, that is another tricky part, So yeah, that one first must be universal, must be giving peace to you and also to others if you practice properly. And the third one is must give you some kind of justice, or perfect justice or ultimate justice. And in certain sense, if you see in this world, there are many injustices. We can the rich and powerful, they can get away with whatever that they have done wrong because they're too powerful. They're the law. And the victim doesn't really get any fair and just treatment. We also have in this world, there are some people who are just so unfortunate to be placed in war-torn countries, in some poor, countries, badly governed countries and stuff like that. Some people were born, sick, handicapped, and so what's the just for this kind of people if this world is only the world that we have? To me, even the difference in man and woman, we know that men have many extras, many advantage over women. That in itself, to me, is inherent inequalities. If you want to put, men are basically stronger than others, we get more attention, stuff like that. So how's that compared to women if you want to put things on equal basis? Why men can enjoy that sex, after 9 months only the women have to bear a child. So to be in a perfect justice, in perfect equalities, that is in itself, to me, is injustice. That's supposed to be, there must be wisdom behind that, why there is inequalities among us. So that is one. There are, in many sense, to me, there are many injustices in this world. And fourth one is basically the purpose of life must address the issues of morality, what is right and wrong, because among us we cannot decide, we cannot dictate what is right and wrong among us. So because we are also human beings, we are also creations, so who are holier or better than the others to decide, this is right and wrong. Of course, some people argue what is right and wrong is based on the majority. But oftentimes throughout history, we have seen the majority didn't really, cannot decide what is really the objective truth or right and wrong. Like once upon a time, we think that slavery or is okay, is permissible. But now we have seen it that is as a form of, it's ultimate injustice in that sense. We are all equal in that sense. So once upon a time, there are many injustices that we see. The whole nation, even some other countries, was supporting their leaders to basically crush other countries because they think they're superior and better than other nations. So that is in itself, it's, to me, there must be that objective justice in that sense, between what is right and wrong. Like, why even have to get married? Why even to have dressed the way we dress? Why we can just be nude and stuff like that? Some people are fighting for that. So, but we're living in a shared space, so we can have a problem in that sense. And in that thing as well, apart from the purpose, also must address the questions of morality. It goes with the problem that we have in, like, drinking alcohol and whatnot. There are many religious beliefs who basically didn't condone that, but it's really out of that individual to choose. But it's not clear on the prohibition of that thing. So basically now we have So as long as you can consume a little bit, then that's allowable. Then we have all sort of problems. It's alcohol and whatnot, drugs. So basically, so that's the thing, because we're living in a shared space. So there are many immoral, in certain sense, that is not good for the whole society. And it also must provide comprehensive and practical ways of achieving it. And so basically, the Ikigai and Pablo Picasso, whatnot, apart from the general purpose of life, giving others, helping other people, that's quite okay. But it's a bit hollow in many sense. And the last one must be logical. To me, the one that is worthy to decide on your own purpose is basically must be your own creator. So because you also must address where you're coming from, what we're supposed to be doing here, and where do you go from here. Because our purpose of life also must be decided by our own creator, because only the inventor, the creator, decides the purpose of anything. The pen, the laptop, the TVs, and it's logical. So the only one that worthy to decide on our true purpose must be our own creator, the creator of the heaven and earth, and all of us. So to me, we cannot run away from asking about our origin, our creator. So this is, to me, what is lacking in other popular views on purpose of life or not, because they have not addressed the first question: who we really are, where you coming from, can we come from nothing? So all in this, so only then we can asking about the question of purpose. And even then, because of that free will that we have, some choose to do good, some choose not to do so good, or whatever they want to choose, not to follow certain, truths and whatnot. So to me, there must some form of accountability. If that thing probably cannot be achieved in this world, it must be achieved after this world. So with that, I think in certain sense, it's a prelude to what we're going to discuss from the purpose of life. We're going to address all these issues on the three interrelated most important questions that any human being should be asking before we can arrive at the correct purpose of life. You must be asking who we really are. Can we just come from nothing? With that, we'll see you in the next chapter. How Islamic perspective address on this issue. Assalamualaikum, may peace be upon all of you.